is so cool. I wish I could draw that.
It is cool. Yeah, and we're live.
Okay.
Welcome to Drawing for Tattooers. With me today, we've got Harriet Wisdom and Amber Morgaine. So great to see you both this morning. Yeah, so Harriet, you were talking about your, you were just showing off your Bridgman drawings that we were talking last week.
Right.
We were talking about George Bridgman and constructive anatomy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was neat. So I downloaded it and I was looking through all the pictures and oh, your Spirit.
Yeah, Spirit's here.
Nice.
So
There he is, connected to audio.
This was a two-part one because I divided it into, I think he did too, into just boxes. A bunch of boxes. It's like this. I don't know if you can see that. That was the picture. That was a bunch of boxes. So I did, and then the next one had faces in the boxes. So I'm not sure how well you can see this, but I'm working on this one with the red are the boxes.
Keep moving it around. Maybe back it up a little bit because you're, and then bring it closer. It's the background blur is like blurring it out a little bit in a weird way.
You might not be able to see it very well, but
we can almost see it. I want to see it so bad.
But the blue are the faces and the red are the boxes.
Right on. No, I'm super glad that you worked on it. Yeah, I worked on a couple as well, but Spirit, good morning. Great to see you.
Good morning. I got my dog over here. Wants to say hey.
Oh, he's
What's your
How's everybody doing? His name's Mongo.
nice.
That was that's like one of my favorite characters from Blazing Saddles. Mongo.
That's cool.
Funny, I just watched that movie recently.
Oh.
I hadn't seen it in years, and I was like, I'm going to watch Blazing Saddles. It was as funny as it ever was.
Classic. Yeah, no, Spirit. I'll answer you.
Homework.
Oh, you didn't have, it's no big deal. I mean, I think it's sort of like, this is, you know, the whole point of this class is, you know, for us to, you know, to challenge ourselves and to, you know, to work together, learn together and stuff. So I think doing the outside stuff can be really helpful, but if it's, you know, you have to prioritize, you know what I mean? There's got to be, you know, you've got to prioritize.
Plus, over the weekend, I went to the Atlantic City Tattoo Expo for the weekend. So
how was it?
It was a lot smaller than I expected, but it was fun because it was a smaller show. You got to actually see everybody. I was disappointed in the amount of stickers off.
Oh, man.
Very
so not a lot of stickers?
No.
Oh, that's the worst. I love stickers. God, tattoo artists have the coolest stickers.
Yes. I got to get more stickers made.
Me too.
Same.
I'm sorry, what do stickers mean?
Stickers, like just actual stickers. Like with your, you know, could have some imagery on it or something, or like, you know, could be advertisement. I mean,
even if
advertisement.
I love it when their business cards are stickers.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because you're never going to lose that business card. You're going to use that sticker on something. Always a great idea.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure out what my next sticker design is going to be. I'm in the same boat. I really want to do it. You probably just have to do one, and then you know, after those are gone, get, you know, see how those go, and you know, get some more. You know, just go for it. Just go for it.
I'm talking to myself right now. That gets you in my head about it. You know what I mean? Gets you like,
Right.
get you concerned. But yeah, people love them. Stickers, your business
Yeah.
cards, all that stuff. People love that stuff. And it's maybe a little bit old school, but
Some
still,
old,
yes, I
old
believe in
school
it.
things should still stick around. I think
That's
it just
factual.
gives you that tattoo feel.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And plus, we're artists, you know what I mean? And it pushes your brand, because just like you said, Amber, like people are gonna forget a business card, but a sticker, they're gonna put it on their
Yeah.
refrigerator, on
And
their,
if it's got your Instagram connect on that sticker, they're always gonna have your advertisement.
Exactly.
That's a
All right,
nice
I'm gonna
point.
make me a sticker today.
Yeah, definitely gonna do it. Oh, cool. I got your
Oh,
picture with
you can actually
the
see
boxes
it.
on it. Very, very nice. Yeah, very
Oh, I
nice.
want to see.
Well, let me see if I can't share it. Hold on a second.
It was kind of ambitious to try to do something that complex for me, but it was fun.
Let me see here. I think I can. I'll share it. Give me one. I said to download it. Yeah, there it is. Cool. Can you all see it?
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool.
I kind of got lost in it where the different boxes started and stopped, and but I'm really enjoying drawing boxes now because they're square.
No, I love all the boxes, and
Yeah, I think it's a really
that's
good piece.
Yeah, very much so.
there we
Some
go.
nice exercise.
Cool. I like the red and the blue combo. You know what I mean? I think that sort of helps to clarify it. You know, so you can see the structure, and then you can see what you were going for with the blue. So
I knew I would just get totally lost if I did it in one color. The way everything would just blend in together.
I guess I would just sort of, I would, note for a moment, like, can you believe you're doing this? You know what I mean? Can you believe that that you can draw at this level?
No, I'm really surprised and impressed that you've been able to teach me to do this.
Hey,
You did
Oh,
it.
that's
No,
fantastic.
you did it.
Yay. Oh, that's so great.
No,
I love seeing that
I-
growth. It's really inspiring to me.
Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of really smart things in this drawing, and so, and I would just encourage you to keep pushing it and keep working. The forms they're basic, right? But then after you really master them, then the more complicated things will start to emerge out of it. They'll start to come from it. So I love it. I think it's super duper proud. Awesome.
Thank you. Like a proud dad.
What's that?
Like a proud dad.
Yeah, right. Well, I think I got to read these announcements and stuff. So let me. I'm gonna try to do it, and I'll try my best to sort of hit the points, right, and hit the high notes here, and rather than just read it off, right? So yeah. So welcome to Reinventing the Tattoo. This is Guy Atchison's Reinventing the Tattoo community. This morning you're watching Drawing for Tattooers. I'm James Wisdom, and with me we've got Harriet, Amber, and Spirit. This is a weekly drawing show where we talk about the fundamentals of drawing, as well as just other interesting topics and our lives. So thank you for joining us. This is a network of live and on-demand art shows offered by Reinventing the Tattoo. And so if you are here, we encourage you to join in. You can find the links on. Let me see. I'll share my screen. So you can find the links to join in. Yeah, oops, down here in the schedule, reinventingthetattoo.com. And so with your help, we've become, you know, a network of on-demand shows that are receiving rave reviews. You can find us on YouTube, our Roku channel, Reinventing the Tattoo /Roku. We're also available on Apple, Spotify, and all the other major podcast directories. Yeah, you can check out our Roku channel. It's available 24/7. We have also available on Reinventing the Tattoo is the Canon, which is Guy Atchison's inspirational tattoo book. It started off as a 3-ring binder. Now it is a digital offering that is constantly being updated. Along with other courses available, there are, you know, courses from over 20 world-class tattoo artists. So please check it out. We have a number of staple shows that are broadcast throughout the week, starting on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern. The Sunday Skill Building Group with Jason Leeser. That's followed on Monday mornings at 9 a.m. with Drawing for Tattooers, James Wisdom, that's me. At 11 a.m. Mondays, we have, let's see, which one is it on 11 day? Yeah, we've got the Tattoo Weekly, hosted by Lauren Gregory, Jake Meeks, and Gabe Ripley. At 5 p.m. on Mondays, we have Let's Talk About Feelings with Robbie Ripple. It's followed at 8 p.m. Followed at 9 p.m. Oh, some backfeed. Sorry, 9 p.m. we've got the members exclusive drawing exercises hosted by Guy Atchison and Sandy McAndrew. Tuesdays, 10 a.m. we've got the Tuesday Feels drawing group with Ricardo Sturdivant. And then 6 p.m. on Thursdays, we've got Tattoo 101 Collecting hosted by Fawn Baker. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down here to our sponsors so we can say what's up. All right. So I've been asked to omit some sponsors. so I'm going to go with what I have here, right? So yeah, so Tattoo Now. Tattoo Now is the leading edge of tattoo networking software. They've got CRMs and also email lists updates. So check it out if you really want to take your communications up a notch. Make sure to check out Tattoo Now. Ask for Gabe. And then also, of course, GuyAtchison.com. This is Guy Atchison's Reinventing the Tattoo community, and you know we really want to thank you so much for being the inspiration behind this community. And so you can learn more about Guy Atchison at GuyAtchison.com, where he has coil machines, prints, oil paintings for sale, as well as the Biomech Encyclopedia. So be sure to check out GuyAtchison.com. And of course, reinventingthetattoo.com. Yeah, so I think that's it, gang. I'm ready to get into the drawing part. So thank you for that. Right, I got a chance to do the some of the Bridgman drawings too. Harry, we saw yours. Spirit, did you want to share yours?
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to draw them?
Yeah, I just put all mine on the same. I got like different layers on my iPad, but I just put them all on the same layer so you can see it all.
Cool.
There we go.
Here, let me see. I want to spotlight you so we can all go check it out. Outstanding. It looks like you had a lot of fun. I won't lie. It looks like fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you find this? Like, did you enjoy it? Was it like, did it feel like, did it feel like you were like building knowledge by working with these images?
I never feel like I'm building knowledge, but I know in my heart of hearts that it's an exercise that will help me build knowledge, if that makes sense. I really did get a lot out of doing these little boxes right now. That was cool. Like just kind of dividing the body up into these very simple, cubes, and then kind of arranging them. Like if you can see, this one was was a cube originally, and then that body is created. Same here. That I did get a lot out of that. And then up here, doing the musculature of the hand, and just the different shapes of the hand. Yeah, I'll definitely say that, like, as the hand is very difficult to do anyway. And so, just kind of doing that. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's very challenging. And going through these motions, I find is great, because at the end result, I have a drawing that actually looks like it's supposed to look. And that's very, very fulfilling for me. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to just kind of like look at something and not trace it. And I learned, and because I tried to do as much drawing as possible. I wanted to do like a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? You were like, just pick one. I was like, no, I want to do the whole book. I just kind of try to find time during the day to, maybe I'll do it in the morning or one at night or something like that. But I will definitely say that I got a lot out of it. Not on a conscious level, but definitely on a subconscious level. If that makes sense.
I think it does. I also think that there's just a lot of progression that I see. You know what I mean? I think also you spend probably a lot of your day, and probably spend many years like really closely observing references. You know what I mean? And working, being a tattoo artist, like it's a part of the job. So having these line drawings to work from, I think are really be really useful for I guess sort of understanding, we're abstracting the body, right? If, let's say we're going to try to like draw a figure or something like that. We're going to take this real thing and try to abstract it, to the paper,
right,
and make some sort of representation. And so this is a way of going about it that can be, again, like sort of structural, right? You start with this structure, and you can start to see it, like in reality. You start to see this interesting, like, boxes and cylinders and stuff, and then you can really get to the heart of the matter, right? Which is like sort of depicting the thing you want to depict, right?
Right.
So I here, I'll share mine. I don't know if that's, let's see. Yeah.
Ooh, damn.
I
This
did
was
a
so
couple.
hard to do. Oh my God, that looks amazing. That fist right
Thank you so
there.
much.
Oh gosh, I was like,
Wow.
what?
I spent some time on it. I really did. But I also tried to limit, you know what I mean? I didn't want to make it overworked. You know what I mean? I thought it was really kind of important to try to, like you said, make time for it, but also sort of move through it quickly. And it is what it is. There might be some areas that are, not as accurate to the drawing or whatever. But again, I think, going through what he was, what was being talked about in the book is really like, this idea of mortising, right, and wedging. Those are sort of the first parts of the book where he talks about, like, how do you do this constructive practice. And so we start to see like these this mortising of like the bones of the, you know, the metacarpal bones are sort of mortised against the wrist bones, right? And then the thumb gets wedged in there. There's really interesting sort of, this is a thread that sort of ties throughout the entire book, like this sort of idea of mortising and wedging. And I think you were seeing that too with the boxes that you all were working with. You know what I mean? It's sort of mortising these boxes together.
What is
Anyway,
mortising?
I think,
what does mortising mean?
like, I think probably the best analogy would be like bricks, like brick on top of brick, kind of mortised together, right? And so I think that's what they're really tightly, you know, these two bricks together. Like for instance, you know, the talking about the metacarpals, the longer bones in your hand to the carpal bones, your wrist bones, they're really like one, you know, there's a lot of bones there in your wrist. And then there's also, you know, these bones, but they move together as one. They're all mortised together, right? But then your thumb can move around. It's sort of wedged into that structure, right? So so that's a part of like that's sort of a, I think that's the what the book is trying to express, right? Is the constructive aspects of our bodies, that they feel constructed, like, you know, there are these blocks and there are these, you know, these other parts that, so there's the ability to be a structure but also to be in motion, right? So that's what's so fascinating about the human body.
So it's
let's
like
say
flexible mortar.
So let's say there's a windmill building that is made of bricks, but the fan part, so the bricks would be the mortising, and the fan part would be the wedge.
Well, you know, it might be that it's like the, you know, the, like the cam of it, it's wedged in. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like it's into it. It's wedged in between like the structure, right? That might be the, you know, might be a way that we could make this analogy, right? But there's room for movement, right, with the wedge. And then there's also the mortising is really structured. There's not much, you know, like your spine, you know, it all moves together, but all of your all your vertebra, right, are fairly mortised together. Does this make sense? Right?
Yeah.
They're fairly stacked up on top of each other. It can twist to a certain degree, you know, there's a little bit of cushion between each one for a little bit of motion, but for the most part, your spine is like, you know, it's pretty well connected, right? So anyway, this is like a part of the book. And so more, you know, like he expresses it better than I can. I think it's, you know, it's really interesting to read it too, and to get into the you know, get into the notion, right? The notion that is being expressed here in the book. So but yeah, I'm so glad that you know, that you all at least like got a chance to check it out. I would encourage it. This is what I'm thinking. We'll probably stick with copying out of this book for, you know, for the next couple of weeks, see how it goes, and see if it doesn't, like, you know, really give you a new trajectory, you know, as you're working. I would love to work on some figure drawings, some gestures, and then maybe even a longer one if you all are interested. So I've got our figure drawing software here. Let me see. Yeah. All right. 30-second drawings. 90 second. I think that I've really been enjoying the 30 seconds is fun, but 90 seconds is like, it seems a little bit more doable. You know, just you can get a little bit of it, a little bit more of it in there. So it runs through 10 poses. That seems to work out well. I've actually been in the mornings. I've been like, practicing this too, because you all are getting really good. So I want to keep working through it. Something that I've found has been really helpful, doing this is working with a line, like sort of try to find a line that goes all the way through the figure, and that's been something that has been something that I've been like really enjoying doing. So, all right, let's give it a start here. All right. So we got 90 seconds. Again, there's probably a line that we can find all the way down to that foot. And this one,
I'm researching Velasquez a lot lately. My new artist crush, Diego Velasquez.
Who is it?
Diego Velasquez. Yeah. I've been enjoying learning about that guy. And the fact that he like pretty much lied in order to like become a nobleman. And that his whole entire quest was just to kind of be, made, as it were. And then like he finally became a part of the Santiago Knights. And then he like died 2 years later. Such a tragic but comedic story.
That's awesome.
I notice that theme a lot in people's lives, that they finally acquire what they've been trying to acquire, and then all of a sudden tragedy hits.
Right. This is kind of a very valuable lesson to just really not to necessarily covet a state of being. That, you know what I mean? There's no such thing as the land of plenty and the land of milk and honey. It's all in the journey. Like while he was journeying to get there, he created some of the most breathtaking art the world has ever seen. Still questioning, still trying to figure out how he did it.
One of my favorite paintings of his is Las Meninas. If you know that one.
Oh yeah. What's your take on that one? That one has been the object of a lot of discussion lately. What do you think about that one? And what I mean is, it just has a lot of weird vanishing points, and then the vantage point that you look at it from, is odd. I'm just, I know you know this. I'm just saying this for our viewers.
Mm-hmm.
But what are your thoughts on that, Brian?
So it's pretty, once you start to look at the painting, what you realize is, like you're saying, the vantage point, what you're seeing is the point of view of the king. So you looking at the painting is like you looking through the eyes of, the king. And then of course there's so many other like little moments in it. And I think that's a part of what you're supposed to do. It's a really large painting. So when you're gazing at it, you're probably sort of like, you can sort of like go into these little vignettes that are within the painting. There are paintings that are like depicted on the walls, but they're very dark, so it's hard to read them. There's like the whole royal family is pictured as well in the painting. And then finally you get to see Velasquez himself behind, like painting the painting in the painting. It's a painting about painting a painting with the artist painting the painting in the painting.
Yeah, right.
So it's an infinite reflection. It's very fascinating.
And that's like his
But then,
only self-portrait. Like that's like the only time that we see him paint himself.
Probably, yeah. I don't know if I guess I can't think of there being any other examples. It's a really good point.
And what's interesting is, you know, it kind of shows that like he really felt as though he finally made it, because in that painting he's wearing the badge of the knighthood that he was able to be knighted into, the Santiago's. And it's almost like, okay, well, hey, here I am now. I've arrived. Now I have my badge, and you know, look at me.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's, you know, he gets a chance to depict himself how he wants to be seen with, you know, with his honors and stuff. Doing the most like sort of probably coveted job, you know. So it's a beautiful enigmatic painting for sure.
Yeah, it kind of makes me think that, like, you know, it just reminds me of how important we are as artists, and just, you know, like we were the original photographers. I mean, the only reason we know what anybody used to wear back then, or even their mannerisms, was because of the artists that were alive. And you know, if he could make it to, I mean, he was a portrait artist of the king, you know, in the royal family, and it's, you know, it's almost like, you know, granted, we're, you know, I mean, we're artists as well, and we're artists of the common people. I mean, there's still something very, very beautiful about being able to render reality and put it on a canvas that most people just cannot do. And you know, just, I don't know, it just makes me appreciate being an artist, even if I'm just a tattoo artist.
Just no, man, you're an artist, so I think it's, you know, there isn't no just it's just that's it. That's what you're doing.
That's right.
It's awesome.
That's right.
It's awesome.
That's right. It's awesome. You're right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say
awesome.
I didn't mean just, but yeah.
No, I know, but that's the, you know, it's the, that's, I'm the same way, you know what I mean? It's like you sort of devalue it a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, because it's like, it is difficult, I think, to appreciate, you know what I mean? Like what it is that you offer. But just like you said, especially, you know, we can't, how could you put yourself in the same category with Velasquez? And maybe we can't, but I still think, you know, like what you do, amazing. And probably the, you know, the people who get work done by you, by us, they're forever transformed. You know what I mean? They're different afterwards. So that's, it really is a privilege, that it's easy to forget. I think it's all too easy to just sort of forget it, and to, you know, think about, you know, your own kind of like shortcomings and stuff. But still, like you said, it's, you know, you put it beautifully. Man, these are fast today.
Diego couldn't tattoo.
Think about what if he did. Oh man, it'd be wild.
All right, I don't know. I don't know what their standards of, you know, cleanliness would have been back then.
Sure. But that's the thing. That's what's awesome. There was tattooing going on back then. You know what I mean? There was happening. So
that's true.
Especially, you know, royalty were like the, you know, the European nobility, especially, started to get into it at, you know, during this, like, it was age of discovery, Victorian era sort of thing. They got all tattooed up all over their faces and stuff. Like,
oh wow.
There's paintings of that too. So it's pretty fascinating, I think.
That is cool. When was the last time you painted something?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Last time I painted, it had to have been earlier this year. It's been months. It's really been months since I painted. But I've really been enjoying, drawing every day. And I, kind of like painting digitally, I think has really been, I haven't oil painted in, like I said, since earlier this year, but sort of working through becoming more like familiar working digitally, I think it's been a blessing. It's been a real, like opportunity. So how about you all? Who's last time you all painted? Anybody? Amber, you probably painted yesterday, right? Like this morning before we started. You paint all the time.
I have not painted it in days, and I'm not gonna lie, it's driving me nuts.
Oh man.
I haven't painted anything on paper. I haven't painted any nails. I'm going nuts. Today's my off day, so between podcasts, I will be painting today.
Good.
I have a bunch of greeting cards to get done. Christmas is coming.
There you go.
I got to paint everybody's Christmas card. I love giving out cards for like no reason at all. So I will watercolor paint a bunch of greeting cards I don't even need to use yet and just have them on hand for when I want to write something in them and hand it to somebody.
I want a card.
Yeah, I love giving cards to people.
No, it's got to feel real good, I think. Because it's really, like you were saying, it's like unique that, you can do it. Not everybody does it. It's going to be,
and sometimes
something
it's fun
that's
to
really,
just make somebody's day.
Yeah, really. Yeah. It is fun to make people's day. Give them a little bit of enjoyment. But yeah, but you have to probably enjoy what you made. You know what I mean? First, you probably had to,
yes,
do it. It had to be well done. You can't, you hand somebody a piece of crap. They're like,
yeah,
no.
Right.
You gotta enjoy it yourself first. So, but yeah, then why not? Why not? I think I'm still stuck on the tragedy of Diego Velasquez right now. like it's on my
Let's
mind.
talk about it.
Oh man, tragic, right? Just a tragic.
Yeah.
I guess we all eventually got to go, but yeah, like you said, enjoy it. Enjoy your life.
Yeah, I've been really just practicing a lot of mindfulness a lot lately. Just just being in the moment and saying this moment right here is the greatest moment ever, even if it's not necessarily. Just taking in the oxygen and saying to myself, this is the greatest moment of my life. And if I were me of the past, I would choose this future for myself. And and I find that like if you're trying to grow, like me as an artist, I'm always trying to draw and just trying to get better and stuff. And while it seems like a slow process, it's still a process that you got to enjoy. You know what I mean? You gotta like just really know and understand that you really are, slowly getting there. Granted, I didn't get to have, teachers like damn Verrocchio and Ghirlandaio growing up my entire childhood. You know what I'm saying? So those are Michelangelo's and Da Vinci's teachers for the viewers at home. But this is me. This is what I was called to do. I'm never gonna be them, and that's okay.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And
especially if you're happy being you, you don't have to worry about being that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Well, that's the thing, you're going to inspire the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
The next generation. But that's, but just like we get, we've got their content to look at, the next generation will have ours. Oh, that was it. Oh, fun.
I am moving slow as hell today.
No, me too. But I
was
think that's what's
definitely
really
out
great
late
about.
last night.
Well, good for you. No, I hope you enjoyed it. But I think that's like, so it's been really so great about this practice, is getting a chance to push myself and to continue to draw the figure. I love drawing the figure. I love drawing, and it's been something that's been good. No, I think that's outstanding. Because it's uncomfortable too, it is. It's hard to do. It's and probably the satisfaction is very fleeting. Because you draw one that you're like, oh, that was pretty good, but then before you know it, it's like, all right, well, can I do it again? And it's like, well, not exactly. It's a, like you were referring to this process, and it's like, you're gonna improve with time slowly, but that's exactly what it takes, is much repetition and and a whole lot of patience, right? Well, yeah, look at today's pose. Wow. It's awesome.
I was right.
Love it. Yeah, well, it's sort of like, you could imagine like a gymnast, or maybe even like a aerial acrobat, like being held up by those, suspended upside down and held up by those those loops. Yeah, right.
Very Cirque du Soleil.
Mm-hmm. Or I guess I've been like thinking about like suspension and stuff lately. Like people do that. People get they do the piercings. They pierce themselves and they hung up by the hooks. It's God, it's got to be so incredibly painful. I can't even imagine it. But anyway, yeah, here we go. We've got this upside down figure. I think it's going to be a challenge, but exciting one. So I'll set up a timer. We're just drawing away. But why don't we go for a 10-minute drawing, and that way we'll get a chance, a little bit longer form. I still think I like the idea of kind of starting with a gesture and then sort of working through it. But maybe this is an opportunity to sort of think about some of the stuff we were working on in the Bridgman, But anyway, I'll start the timer, and let's go for it, gang. Yeah. Definitely like a triangle sort of envelope, you know, if you wanted to sort of sketch in the entire thing, you could start off like that. But then we could clearly see that, like, that sort of box for the, like, the pelvis, like we had in the Bridgman examples and stuff earlier. Like you could sketch in that box shape. Then that starts to give you that perspective. Nice.
I'm really thinking I want to take some art history classes.
Yeah.
I really do.
Definitely should. So you were talking about Velasquez, but what's your favorite period of art history? Do you have one?
Honestly, the art that was created in like the Mesopotamia Egyptian time period, believe it or not, because that's right around the time when we really, really started to become illustrative and use perspective, and you could just really see the beginnings of everything. You know, that was right around the time where you could look at a piece of art and start to read it from the lower left-hand corner out, out. And just looking at pieces like that, it just kind of helped me to, just like read other pieces of art. Yeah, I think that's actually one of my favorite time periods.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. And even like the prehistoric, like right around the time when we first started making tools and do cave paintings, that was around the time when we started making tools was around the time where we started making art. And so that could just kind of would tell me that it's almost like, we would art wasn't art, it was survival. It was, we started taking the universe or taking reality and shaping it to our benefit.
No, that makes all the sense in the world. That we're not just driven by purely instinct. There's like thought and understanding that's starting to be made visible, mm-hmm. right, through the production of art.
Right.
It was always really closely related to like religious ideas, I think, for mm-hmm. all of history.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't, it's even though much of art is it's highly secular, mm-hmm. Today, it's still, maybe that is our religion, like secularism.
No, seriously.
And,
yeah, well,
yeah.
I mean, it's like, just that. I mean, that's almost even. It's almost like magic and art also go hand in hand, because we would use art to talk to our gods.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would add science to that and make it a trinity. It was magic, art, and science. They were all intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, magic was just science we didn't understand yet.
Oh, good point.
I think it still is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But magic definitely involves art, that's for sure.
Yeah.
When you create something beautiful and you're proud of it, it feels like magic.
That's right.
Well said. Well, I always kind of think it's interesting too, like we get that privilege, you draw something for somebody and they say, that's just what I had in mind, or,
I love
or you
that.
read my mind or something like that. Impossible, right? It doesn't, that's not true, but it happens. And it's like you've somehow, been able to connect with them, to connect with with the work. And it's like, you come to some sort of relationship that way. I think it's, like you said, it's kind of certainly a magical feeling.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Creating is magic. Creating something out of nothing. I would like to know for the people for the people watching, maybe what are some of your favorite artists, visual artists? What are some of your favorite time periods? And maybe you could just put it in the comments section. And also, don't forget to smash that like button and press subscribe so that you can get these videos right into your YouTube.
Absolutely. Thank you, Spirit. I think I can actually, if anybody watching right now, I could check out comments.
I make a point to come in here in the morning.
Oh, you do?
I'm not normally a morning person, but on Mondays I am.
Yeah, same. Yeah, pressing that like button is very important, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is. It all helps the algorithm.
Yeah, exactly. Is it the reinventing the tattoo? I'm still very much wanting to be a part of it. Is there a certain time of year that you have to like enroll, or is it like a subscription based type thing, or like how does it work?
Yeah, so there is access to the book. I believe that's called the Canon. So you can always you can get that whenever you like. Then there's a course that's offered, and that enrolls like on a trimester sort of basis. So I'm not sure when the next enrollment period is, but it's probably listed on the website as far as when you could get into it. But yeah, I think it's something that I found very helpful. Again, it's not necessarily like how to tattoo, but it's Guy Atchison's approach to design, and he offers like a live class where you get to do a weekly drawing and then get feedback about it. I personally found it very helpful, and then also it's again, just something, really, really challenging to keep up with it all, every week. But certainly found that it's worth it in many ways. So, well, let's see. We're at time. We are there at the time.
This
I'm
one
just
was
gonna put a couple
difficult.
finish. Yeah, right. Very difficult, but But that's I think that's why we're doing this. I think that's certainly why I am. That's why I think you all show up every week too, is to get something out of it.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. Push yourself. We get that. We can fudge it a little bit. So I'm gonna, I'm giving us 2 extra minutes. So that was the 2-minute warning. So whatever you're gonna finish it up, and then we'll check them out. See how we did.
I don't know. I feel like adding any more, it's just going to make it muddier. So I'm just going to stop.
That's a skill, knowing when to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a skill, Harriet. Knowing when to walk away from it. That's one of the problems we have as tattooers, never knowing when to stop. Like, I'm just gonna do this one little piece of white here, and then they're like, "Oh, we're done." And like, "Oh no, let me do this one more shade real quick."
Real quick.
So, and another thing is, one of the things I've found that I'm able to do now is, like, when I'm tattooing and I don't know necessarily like what else I should do. Like, let's say I'll get lost in the shading. Now I'm able to kind of regroup and say, okay, where are the shadow? Where should the shadows fall? And then I'll think, okay, well, now how do I contour this part of the drawing, and how can I make this part pop out? And when I kind of refocus and take that approach, I'm finding that my work is starting to look better. It's very slow though. It's because you know how you think that, like, you take some art classes and you're like, all right, cool, now I can tattoo like, Guy Atchison, or now I can tattoo like James Wisdom or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then you get in there and you're just like, oh, it's still me. I'm still tattooing, I'm still tattooing the same way, but they're just these very minute incremental changes that will add themselves onto your style.
Yes. Yeah, you are who you are. Yeah, you are yourself,
Right.
Just like you were saying, we can't be Michelangelo or Donatello or Raphael or Guy Atchison. We are who we are, and but we work, and we work to become that. You know what I mean? Like, you probably aren't who you are right away either.
Right.
That's a process as well. But yeah, so I think to that notion that you were just talking about, this is something that that Guy Atchison actually talks about a lot, and the way that he refers to it is positive and negative, or pos neg. That's the language he uses. So positive being dark and negative being light. That's the way that, you know, that works. And so in order for things to have clarity, you have to, you know, like for instance, if we look at this figure, it's positive on negative, right? So the figure itself totally dark as we look, and the background's totally light. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We can clearly see the contours of this figure, you know, on our screen because of its pos-neg relationship. So the same thing goes with our work, you know, with our tattooing or our artwork for that matter, is that, you know, wherever the edges of the object are, right, wherever it's overlapping something else, the degree to which we give it a positive and negative relationship, it's darker than something else. That's how we bring the contrast. That's how we bring the clarity. And so, you know, for instance, like we need to differentiate this leg from the torso, but not so much that it's like a leg that's separated from the torso. But of course, the background, you know, is much, much different than the actual body, you know, this actual object as body. So there's a fine tuning that sort of happens when you relate those things together. But I think, you know, what you were talking about, Spirit, with, you know, you're thinking about the shadow, you're thinking about the light. That's I think that's the way to go. And then on top of it, the next sort of element to add to it would be just the overall relationship, the positive and the negative one. How, you know, how does that positive and negative relationship work? So for instance, I'll lock in my figure drawing here. Woo. So it's a negative. We're probably at time, but let's see if I block this whole thing in. Yeah. And then add a little bit more rendering here and there. Yes. Right. Yeah. So through adding rendering and thinking about how the positive and negative relationships work, you can, you know, really start to bring out the, you know, the qualities of whatever it is you're working on, whatever it is that you're, whatever it is you want to represent. There we go. I think that works for me. Okay. Well, there was an extra few minutes on it.
There you go.
So funny. Yeah. All right. So I've got, here's mine. I'll show mine off real quick. Yeah, let me see. I can move it over just to. Copy all and paste. Okay. So now that should hopefully. There. I had two layers stacked up on top of each other. Okay. So sorry about that. Right. Yeah, so there's mine. And I was just sort of like at the very end, just sort of blocking it in, thinking about that, you know, positive and negative. So the figure is positive. It has this just overall darker. You know, so overall much darker than the background. I think with more time, you know, it could be rendered further. Could get that shadow that was cast on the ground or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess you know, it's like there was I think there was some things that I thought were useful with the, you know, sort of building blocks underneath. I kind of start off with this more of a sketchy sketch in the sort of the idea of what, you know, what we covered in Bridgman this week, and then made just a little bit more, you know, sort of a stronger contour, blocked in a little bit of the, you know, just put in some value on top of it. So yeah, it's a version of it, but yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. Very challenging, very challenging. So
Yeah, definitely.
does anybody else want to share theirs? I'd love to see it. Love to see
Yeah, I
anybody
kind of
else's.
cheated, and I didn't draw it upside down. I drew it right side up to me. So
Right on.
Smart.
I don't know if you can. All I see
Yep.
is green. I
No,
guess
we can.
turn it
I
like
think we can
that,
make
then
that
it'll look
here.
like it's
Actually, I
upside
can.
down.
There you go.
Very nice. Yeah. Hold it up a little higher. Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Almost.
There you go.
We just about had it. Ah.
All right.
Yeah. Tip it forward and backward a little bit. I don't know. I don't know why the
And went left.
screen is blurring you out. Yeah. There it is. Stop. Oh, there it is. We can see it.
Yeah, there's part of it anyway there.
Excellent.
Nice.
But if I, when I
Fun.
do it right side up, it was a lot easier than trying to do it upside down.
Fun. Well, I think the legs, like how far to extend them, I have no idea. Like, you know, but they certainly, to me, it seemed like their legs were very long. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I was going for as well. And you certainly captured that. Certainly didn't make them too stumpy or anything. So I like it. I mean, it was really fun drawing for sure. Super fun. Amber, can I see? Let's see yours.
Yep.
Love to see it. Awesome. What do you think? Was there any parts that you feel like, you know, were you were extra successful at, or were there any parts that were extra challenging for you?
The whole thing was kind of challenging for me just because at first I couldn't wrap my mind around what I was seeing. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I was seeing everything. And at first I started rendering details and I'm like, I'm not supposed to be rendering details. So I went back and just kind of blocked it out and then outlined it as the blocks, and then I erased where I had the blocks and then started volume shading a little more, which helped a lot.
Cool. Yeah. No.
Can I see yours again, Amber? I didn't get a chance to see it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Thank you.
I think what when we so because my iPad just sort of is always landscape, format. It worked a little bit, like it was a little easier in this for me because I had more length. You know what I mean? To sort of more width rather, right? There was more like a wideness for the to draw on, and so sometimes it's like, you know, I say don't be afraid to turn the page over, you know, and go like landscape or go right, landscape and portrait. Yeah, I mean, I think that might be something that you'll find. I don't know, like, God, you don't need permission, but that's something my art teachers always would say is like, you know, like give yourself permission to, you know, to like to do it. And so at the same time, doing it portrait orientation too could offer a new set of challenges. You know what I mean? So I guess just feel free to mix it up and, keep, I like the way that you explained your process. So like, you were working through it, feeling like you started getting like hung up on details, and then made yourself stop and go to a process that you felt more comfortable with, that you felt would be more successful. And so, and I think that was really wise. So excellent.
His spirit. Let's see his.
Yeah, spirit.
Right.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, so I found that doing the triangle, creating the triangle actually did help a lot more.
Excellent.
And this was kind of the first line that I did. I started with the legs and just made sure that one was higher than the other. I had some issues with the torso. At first, my torso was very fat. And then I just kind of kept looking back and, in order to make it correct.
Well, I really like what you were able to come up with, and I definitely see the triangle, sort of shape. I saw the triangle in everybody's piece, so and I think it's kind of like that weird pose that we were forced to sort of work with today was like such a challenge, and but at the same time you know pushing our skills and pushing ourselves to to sort of do something that we didn't think was possible. It's going to lead to all sorts of insights, right? So the next time you're going to draw something, you're going to like the next time I go to draw something, I'm going to think about the positive negative relationships, right? And then I'm also going to think about the envelope, right? I'm going to think about how I can sort of capture it. I'm going to think about like, am I doing too much, like detail, right? Should I sort of take a step back and be more sort of simple at it? Or is there a way that I can do this more like intelligently, like turn it the other way, go right side up rather than upside down? Is that possible? So, all of the insights I think that we all sort of gained today, we should gain from each other as well, right? And so I don't know. I for me it's like this is just always such a privilege to get a chance to draw with you all and to work through these things. I hope you're having a good time too. I hope you all sort of see the value, that like that you're bringing to yourself by doing this all the time. You know what I mean? So
James, I need you to know that this is amazing. Okay. Whatever you think that, it's helping, I'm absolutely positive it's doing more than I'm aware of. And I'm aware of that it is doing a lot.
Yes,
experience.
I have to agree with that sentiment.
Thanks, Amber.
I've even
I really appreciate
my pre-sketching for my paintings.
Mm.
How much looser, it's easier to reach that flow state. I just have more confidence in my painting just because my sketching is so much better.
Outstanding. Well, I think it's like the stuff we're doing, like we get started with some quick sketches and then we work into something a little bit more a little bit more laborious is a good way to go. Athletes do it a lot. You get warmed up, right? You get ready to go before you jump into the big game. And I think that's something that Guy Adjuston teaches as well. Like sort of doing this thumbnail sketch process. You start with thumbnails and then real quick loose sketches, and then you get into like developing more rather than just sort of going with your first idea, rather than just sort of like going into it cold. You allow yourself some freedom to experiment a little bit, Same thing with like, with our gesture sketches. I think it's very similar. Or same thing with, like we haven't been doing it as much, but like if you were to warm up, like drawing elliptical shapes, right? Or you're to warm up sort of drawing, something simple like a cube or whatever, it's gonna jumpstart that connection that between your hands and your mind, your body and your body and your soul, right? So well, anyway, this has been fantastic. I think so. For homework, working with the Bridgman, find another section and do a little bit of copying, and see if you can't like if working through this for the next few weeks doesn't like really help us as we're working through our figure drawings and stuff. So but yeah, I think I want to thank you all so much. Let's do some sign-offs real quick. Harriet, you were first. Let's start with you.
Oh, I'm just here to learn. So everybody.
Thanks for coming. No, it's a pleasure to have you every week, and so seriously, you're making a lot of progress. So thank you so much.
I think so too. Thank you.
Amber.
I'm Amber. As usual, thanks for hosting this drawing group. You have no idea how much you are helping me and a lot of others. You can find me on all platforms under Amber Morgaine.
Thank you, Amber. Yeah, no,
I'll see you in the podcast this week.
Hell yeah. Yeah, awesome work this week. All right, Spirit.
Hey, what's up, guys? You can follow me on Instagram at Tattoos by Spirit. My website is tattoosbyspirit.com, and my TikTok is also Tattoos by Spirit. And I would just like to extend an appreciation to you guys, Amber and Harriet, and just my classmates, because just seeing you guys work and seeing you guys progress, it helps me more than you guys think. You know what I mean? Just being here and being able to bounce ideas off of you guys and seeing you guys grow and progress. It holds me accountable, and I love it. And I never knew how much this was just so needed and so necessary in my life. So thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
This is, again, I think like everybody brings their experience here, and everybody is also like, you bring your efforts and stuff. And, I always, every week I get like, a little bit anxious about doing this. But then after we get going, I feel so much better. It's it's meaningful that you all are here. And I think it really gives me just a charge. You know what I mean? I'm charged up for the whole week. And I think this is really a big part of that. So anyway, I want to thank all of you again for joining. I'm James Wisdom. You can find me on Instagram at Tattooing Wisdom, and my website, tattooingwisdom.com. Thank you again. And, join us next week, Mondays at 9 a.m. Eastern, for another exciting episode of Drawing for Tattooers. Happy drawing, everybody, and I'll see you next stream.